Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Heyward CPA Livestream with me, James Heyward, right here. Our super duper co-host is on his way. He had to run some errands this morning, so I'm doing this solo dolo for a second, but not a problem. We haven't been there before. It's not a problem we can't fix. As you see, I'm in a utility closet. Don't mind what's going on in the back. I decided not to blur it out because we are an authentic stream. And this is what you're looking at is a tax season office historically. So I'm at a remote office right now, not my usual studio, but that's okay. You see, we have, I guess we should take this off because my people are having problems with them. So we're going to get that out the way. So we're not going to show them, but as you can see, things are happening. We had an install this week. A lot was going on. So, we're doing our thing, and he's in right on time, always on time. Whatever time that might be, you're here.
Yo,
Yeah.
just bought a Cadillac, got a new grill.
Oh boy, did you?
That's what I was jamming to on my way sliding down the street.
Oh, okay, no doubt. So yeah, so we are here. You know what this is?
No, what is this? It's Saturday morning.
No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
February.
I'm not trying to make you guess it. It's bigger than that though, but it's bigger than that. It's going down. It's this would be episode number 80.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
On the 8th.
How about that? Sounds like it's time to go play some lottery numbers or something.
For real. For real.
I mean, if you want to go numerology, is my birth month and year multiplied, both month and day multiplied. So, yeah. So the number 8
also, it's all the number of infinity too. There's no gaps. It's all connected.
Yes,
it's the 8.
There you go.
You just keep going around.
I think somewhere else. I just said, 80. 80, so 80 is 80. It's all good. So yeah, I left it, I'm in the closet.
I see.
Joints going on back here. This is
International J.
Yeah, well, I wanted everybody to see this is a tax office. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what's happening right now. We in the tax office. So I'm at a different machine. I'm in a different location because I'm always in a different location. You never know where I might be, but we still here.
True.
Might be driving, might be whatever. True. So we in the building. So yeah, what's good with you? What's on deck today?
What's on deck? Oh man, just another biz therapy kind of day. Wow. That's when you get up, put your feet on the ground. I mean, you get blessed. You say your blessings every day, but you put your feet on the ground, and your blessings is even more focused and intense because you gotta push through discipline.
So yeah, you on that. Out to all the students. I'm on something else right now.
I'm on that. I'm definitely.
I'm on something else. Totally.
I know you always on something else.
Yeah. So after that rousing, whatever I had going on last week, that was 2 weeks ago. Now I'm still good though. I mean, I'm something else will come up. We talk about it. I guess this week I've done quite a few book summaries this week though. Since the last 2 weeks.
Okay, I gotta still get to mine.
So I'm gonna bring one up. Let's see. We're gonna talk about a book summary because what's important here is, for people to understand, that doing business, we say it all the time, doing business is continual. You always got to learn, you always got to keep learning. So how nowadays we have so much stuff to learn with. I think it's overwhelming. And I think people tend to say, okay, well, yeah, I'm good on that, man. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Nah, I ain't got time to go back to school because I'm trying to make this money and all this other stuff, all that good stuff. I'm trying to get the bag. Go get the bag, yo. Okay. Make sure the bag doesn't have a hole in it. All right. Just get the bag. You never know. Bag with a little hole, you walking away, the coins falling out the bag as you walk away. Right? The bag.
The bag.
One way you can learn how your bag, whether or not your bag has a hole in it, is by learning how the bag is made.
Oh, you definitely on one today.
Absolutely. I think I'm gonna be on one all year.
Okay. I'm liking that though.
I mean, well, here's what let me get. What did we do? The last law of attraction. It was interesting. I read this thing, The Mastery of Love. Another book by Don Miguel Ruiz. Ruiz.
Yeah.
And the Four Agreements.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I'm just gonna say this real quick. His points are life is full of unexpected twists and turns. And that everyone must learn to navigate. So this is we have range. We have range,
We have free range.
Yeah. So the loss of innocence punishes you for not being perfect. Now that's interesting. And I'm gonna talk about that. I mean, basically, when you're a child, you don't think about it, you just do, But when you start learning, or you learn the behaviors that we're taught, then you can find a way to scrutinize yourself and think that you're not up. Same thing with us business owners. When you start, you're enthusiastic. You're going to conquer the world. You're going to do it all. Then as you become a little more experienced, you start saying, man, I ain't right, man. I'm not right. Hey, so you got to overcome that. I'm jumped out. So you punish yourself.
True.
Then you start looking at other people on TV or wherever, especially this social media thing, and you start comparing yourself to them. But I have something to tell you. They're lying. Now, I know at some point this comment might be on social media and you say, well, if they're lying, what makes me say that you're not lying? You know why? Look at my background. Why would I be lying with a background like this? This right here, this is I'm an actual fact. Yeah. Is it the perfect background for a video? No, it's totally not. But it's what we working over here. We're working. So I'm not here pretending that I'm, on the Riviera chilling. I could teach you how to make $1 million in 15 minutes. Just sign up for my webinar. And as I always say, the way to make $1 million in 15 minutes is to tell enough people that you can make them rich in 15 minutes and they buy what you're selling. That's how you do it. So that's why, the loss of innocence is very important to think about. People out here lying, man. Like this, that's just so and I'm going to just touch on the third point. When we get here, we'll put the name of the book up. We might have a book club call at some point,
What you gonna call
it? Which incidentally, I got to get back to that because I spoke about the book. Did it happen before? When I talked about the family book call, I don't know if we talked about it before or after. But anyway, so healing yourself is rooted in self-love and truth. So that's why a lot of people aren't healed, because you have to deal with the truth.
That's right.
That's what the problem is. You have to deal with the truth.
That's right.
You
That's
can't
right.
deal with a facsimile of the truth. You can't deal with, you gotta deal with the truth. And
you saying truth, TRUTH.
Yeah.
Not TRUE.
Nah,
There's
not
a
truth.
difference.
Truth.
There's the truth.
So because here's the thing, good people. I want y'all to think about this now, right here. I mean, we're in a world of catchphrases right now. We're all about catchphrases. As I just mentioned, the bag. And I'm standing in my truth or whatever the heck. I'm living my truth and all that. But you know what? When you're externally referring to your truth, it's probably not the whole truth because you're telling everybody, this is my truth. Are you telling the person you're telling to, or are you telling yourself that? Are you trying to figure it out?
Well, it becomes a half truth. It becomes a half truth, right? It depends on how you align with the laws of the land, the laws of the universe, the laws of the principalities of what you're dealing with, especially in business, right? So it's a half truth.
Well, there's a half truth. Yeah, it may not be true at all because people always insist that they're standing on their truth or what have you, or they're telling their truth. But have they spent time to really analyze if that's their truth? So let's spin it around. Let's go. Let's take it to business. Because you guys didn't come here for a self-help lesson. Which
it's all relative, though. It's all relative.
It's all relative. Do self-help. I can do self-help. That's what I do in my as a hobby or something. But so your truth, if you ask me, the accountant, is your balance sheet. That's your truth. So that's your truth. And to sum that down, that's like how much money you have in the bank. That's your truth. As your business, you are that. You can have earned, we did 1.5 last year. We did this. We doing big numbers. I love when people tell you asking how's the business doing. No, we're doing good things. We're doing big numbers, whatever. I didn't ask you how you want people to think you're doing. I said, how you doing? So I need to know a number. There's a number. Once again, as we put out in our postcards, and we will continue this campaign, business is a game. It's time for you to learn the score. You got to learn how to score the game. So if I ask you, or if my colleague here asks you, how's business going? At some point, we're going to get to a quantifiable number. Not, it's all right, you know what I'm saying? We doing all right, we putting it together. You know what I'm saying? We chopping things up, but none of those, all of basic math, none of those are basic math terms at all. But not whatever, none of them. Basic math. I'm not talking about, algebra or trigonometry or accounting. I'm with basic math. I can't take I plus it's okay equal. What number is that?
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know what number that is. So that's what I'm saying is this is like, the mastery of love. It's good for your personal stuff too, but the points I just brought up there are excellent. Because it's getting to truth. So I mean, you gotta have truth. Listen, this is back to what I was saying. Well, let me wrap this up. I mean, you could wrap up with your comments on the mastery of love.
I
gave some though.
Keep Oh, you definitely on one today. You definitely. How many cups of coffee you had today?
None, which is incredible. Which is why I'm telling you this year is gonna be interesting. And I not had one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it.
That's good. Let's go. Easel.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
This is what we need. This is what we need.
So but this is the book. I definitely encourage you to check it out or listen to a summary. Listen, this isn't school. So And that's another thing. We're not keeping it more real if you sit down and read every page. We want to get the points. Now, I'm not saying to not read books, but there's so much stuff out here, so many books, and sitting down and reading every book. The way I look at summaries are to get the gist of it, and if it's really pulling me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go read the book. So
yeah, if it got a roadmap that's going to lead you to something, you need extra
yeah,
steps and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
and
Other
then
than that, just do your summaries and get your bullet points, see what you can apply. You know what I mean?
and
And
keep
keep
it
it
moving.
moving.
Yeah, so that's The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. I don't know what the heck is up with Ruiz. All right. So
I like one of the things he said in that book. Unrealistic expectations cause suffering.
Oh,
And that goes back to what you were saying. Tell me, yeah, I'm making $1 million. I'm having $250,000, $500,000. Yeah.
I'm doing, son. Yes, son. Yo, what you want? I got it. That's another qualifier. Yo, I got it, man. I'm getting it. I'm getting the bag. Not once have I mentioned a number yet, have I? I gotta get to this money.
It's interesting. I was watching, this is a while ago, because now you have me remembering stuff. I was watching this podcast by, I think it's Huberman, and not a sponsor of this show, by the way.
Yeah, no.
And he's a neuroscience. It's all about the mind. Absolutely. And he was saying, like parasites in the body, they talk about parasites in the body, which cause illness and stomach aches and all kinds of infections and diseases because of parasites. The do's and the don'ts to keep parasites away from your body. However, neurologically, if you're not thinking correctly, your mind becomes a parasite.
Dang.
To expectations and thoughts and ideas.
That's
yes. Isn't that's right? So in order to keep your mind from being a parasite, you have to feed it the appropriate things, such as what James is talking about here. What you're talking about is continuously learning, continuously improving, and it's never a destination. Learning is not a destination.
No.
By no means.
No. But well, not a but I said I feel like most of us we associate learning with academia. So
right.
We go back and think I'm reading, because like in school, reading is kind of like a punishment. It's looked at as a punishment. Like, I need you to read 3 chapters before the next class. Like, man, I ain't trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's way.
Right.
But reading does a lot. Well, for me, I'll say reading, one, has helped me communicate better and has increased my vocabulary, and it helps me to write better. It helps me to speak better. Not just from the knowledge of the book, but when you getting into something where someone has to they're trying to communicate a point to you. So there's like a level that things have to be on if you're communicating a point to mass people. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's so taking it back to what I'm on is I think that I'm honing that skill. So now, in understanding what we have happening here, I'm taking this opportunity to share more about us, like what we got going on. And I'm on a mission. I'm on the Sucker Free Mission 5.0 right now. I'm not going to sit back and not say anything anymore. That's just, it's
upon this. It's upon us to make sure we deliver, what we can share, who we connect with, that connects with what the message is and the deliverables that we're able to provide, right? And so, to extend on what you're saying, and it's not just reading. I think people can read a lot of stuff, but it's what are you comprehending? Because it's what you comprehending that you're going to apply to. You know what I'm saying? And the comprehension, the learning aspect of reading something and comprehending is not only attributed to a book or a lesson, it's attributed to who your resources are, who is your environment, who is your community of people that you're able to have certain conversations that will lead you into questions that you did or ideas that you did not know existed in your own mind or in your own situation, right? So that's what we call the road of evolution, because we are here as people. We are here to help and serve each other as people. And so there's no man is an island, as they say, right? Hence why a great company has a great team of staff. Clients are your team too. Think about it.
Absolutely.
Because if
Absolutely.
you're serving your clients and you're delivering satisfaction and you're giving them a great experience along the way, guess what? They're going to help promote you, not only promote you to other people, give you testimonials, be a case study, but they're more than likely going to come back and do business with you, and your clients are your team as well. So how you train yourself internally for those games to get
Mm.
to, let's talk about what tomorrow is, Super Bowl, right? It's the same thing. You develop your team to get to the Super Bowl. And it's a numbers thing. And you're not going to win 100% of everything. That's just not even the way business is done. But you want to make sure you have some really good percentages in in the games that you're playing, or what the games you're understanding in terms of what James is talking about, your scorecard, right? So you're able to navigate the different levels. So we control things by air,
That's interesting.
right? We control things by air. So you got air, wind, and fire, right? We control things by air. If it's hot, am I going to be hot? Am I going to apply my hot air to hot air? No, why not? Why would I do that? Right? So I need to neutralize the air. We're air, you know. Are you the thermostat or the thermometer?
Whoa, all right, yo,
I
hold up.
yield back.
Yeah, here we go. That's it. No, but it's good points. I mean, so as we say today's topic, part of what we have, and put your comments in the post. I mean, it's continuous learning, and it's for me, I'm just hyped up. I mean, look, in the general world right now, today, there's a lot of angst about an overarching situation that I think what we're talking about here is the counter to it. Look, your community, you build community. This is what's happened. In fact, the moves that were made, I'll just say in Washington this week, were made to break down community.
Yep.
That's the whole maneuver, is to break it down. We ain't breaking down community. We here. I've told you from before. I'm not even tripping off that. What we're doing is we want to build better business people. You know what I'm saying? We want people to be better at business. We want people to understand that businesses is even if you do it part-time, it's a full-time discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no your graduation is when you sell it or get bought out or something like that.
Well, the
So know that.
tuition is the journey that you on to learning it, to grow it, to run it, right? So, that's the tuition you pay. Those dark nights, those long days, those no's that you're getting. You just got to keep trucking through. So, again, we all have to build people to build businesses. We can't build businesses because businesses they don't have a brain. They have a heart, but they don't have a brain. So
True.
we the brains behind the business. So we have to continuously build the people that's going to go and build the businesses,
All right. Yo,
lend
hold on.
ourselves to that.
You take that. I got to yield. I'll be back. 2
Yeah,
seconds.
go ahead. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So, I guess the message here is Well, always the message is let's continuously grow. How can we grow? What are some of the areas that you need to grow? What are some of the areas that you need to improve? Well, actually, what are some of the areas that are challenging to you that you don't want to face? You put it down and you say, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. You can use some assistance. You could use a resource. I'll get to it. I should go and ask. I should go and do this. Or I want to do this and I'm not really sure how to do it. Right. So a lot of times that we get into, I'm not sure, I don't know how to do it. Do we actually take the effort to put it together? So when we seek the resource or the help, they can see where the breakdown is or where we may have fallen short in trying to figure out that equation, because business is nothing but equation. All of us here have gone to math class. We've grown up in math class. Now there's calculators, there's phones now. You know, a lot of kids using their cell phones to do some calculations. Me, you know, I grew up with they call it arithmetic. I don't think too many people use that word. And so you have to write down how you're solving a math problem on a piece of paper. And the reason for that is so again, they know you're not cheating, number one, right? Two, you teaching yourself. Number three, the most important piece, which should be one, is where did you go? Where did you fall short in figuring out that math equation? So you could go back to that particular area and not have to figure out the whole scenario again, right? And that's the efficacy of learning, right? That's the journey of learning. You know what I mean?
Efficacy. Yes, it is. But so well, with that being said, that's good. Business. So let's talk business. You want to talk business? I guess we're talking. If there's something you want to talk, put it in the chat so we can talk. We can talk about that too. So let's see. Let's go over the week. We can talk about the week. The week was pretty good. I mean,
the week was pretty good.
I could talk about some of the stuff that's been going on, but first,
keep a high level though.
No, yeah, I mean, it's not. It's gonna be all inspiring. So one thing I will say about the week, as you may or may not know, we are a CPA firm, and we prepare and advise on taxes. Okay, so I just had to make that clear. So, so that's what we do. We don't do taxes. We prepare and advise on taxes. You can find someone to do taxes. I think I will repeat myself from before. Hey, your cousin do taxes. Your barber do taxes too. You see what I'm saying? They do taxes. Hair salon where they do taxes. So, but we're a tax and advisory firm. So this week, I mean, it was good. We made some advances in some of our service offerings and how we're doing it. Did some more identification of who our client, our avatar, or who the client is. Got closer to that. And I think I'm just using this as an example of what you were speaking on, of that is a constant movement. You're constantly learning, you're constantly developing more skills. You develop more skills, and the more that you can get into that and feel excited about that, the more chance you have for success. Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing of what we've been trying to do in our apparatus, our sales and marketing, is really to understand who we have, understand the type of client that works best, that will work best with us, and build our systems and our marketing around that. You don't do that in a weekend. I've heard stories or talked to practitioners in our industry where it took them in excess of 5 years to get the mix right. That doesn't mean you're not doing business, but to get it where you're like, right. Oh, and that you take that with, I guess, a pregnant pause, and then you say, okay, I'm looking at the next stratosphere. Well, the next stratosphere might be merging or exiting the firm, because you got this thing rolling that you like, hey, I'm good. But it's constant work. But when you're doing this work, if you get to the state where you enjoy it. You know, the term work is loaded too. The term work is, yeah, I got to go to work, listen to this person and tell me, you know, like that. But when I say work, which probably is not the best thing, when I say I have work to do, I'm actually, although I may stress about it, I'm actually excited about what I'm doing because I'm excited to get to another point, get to something else done. So it's a case where, you know, we're really working on that, and we're also evolving. We're evolving. So we're in an exercise where we're developing our brand. That's another catchword. My brand this, my brand that. Yeah, I don't want to affect my brand. Okay. But sometimes you have to understand what words mean before you use them. What your
Because
brand.
what? Because life and death is in the power of the. Got you.
Yeah.
Placement. See?
Yeah. Well, you gotta understand the word.
Right.
What is brand? What is a brand? One thing, you know what brand? We use it. They used to brand, not used to, they still do, I guess, brand cattle. So
Yeah.
what is when you brand a animal or cattle, or I'm gonna leave it there, whatever you're branding, what are you doing? You're putting a mark on it to identify. In cattle, I guess identify what rancher they belong to and so on and so forth. This could go down a bad path. I'm gonna hop away from that. But what you're doing so you can identify it. So now your business brand goes to, what do you think about when you hear the name and or the logo? That's what branding is. So your personal brand, I mean, it's one thing to me, you gotta be authentic to have a personal brand. This the problem is people around here, they got personal brands and they're not authentic people. But when you think of somebody, and you already have a brand, by the way, because people, when they think of you, this is what they think. That's that's the personal brand. Now you may want to reshape it and move it a different way, but that's a personal brand. But the whole thing about branding is when somebody thinks of you or your trademark or your business or anything, what do they think? So what we're working on is increasing our brand in the advisory space. Another overused word, but anyway, we want people to think advisors, not people that just do taxes or do financial statements or do whatever types of things that we do. We advise within doing it. We're looking at it to advise. We want to advise. What is advise? Okay. Give you advice. It's up to you to execute it, but we give you the advice. It does not absolve you of your responsibility to anything. We're here to advise. It's like Yoda to Luke Skywalker. You see? Advise. He still had to go get Vader. Yoda was like, I'm good. I'm like 900 years old. I'm staying right here in this swamp. I'm good. So that's where we are, people. Same thing. Biz therapy. I do the biz therapy commercial. You chill out. So this biz therapy. What is biz therapy? We're branding it's a brand it's a therapeutic exercise for small business owners and startups to put some structure into their thought processes of building their business. That's pretty good. That's what it is. It's a therapeutic exercise. Therapeutic. So if you have a therapist, think about when you go to the therapist. You go to the therapist, and the thing about therapy which is interesting, is that one of the ways therapy works is the person kind of knows what's going on, but they need to get it out to somebody so that it could be processed and given back to them. so that they could move forward, so they can move there. So a lot of these answers we have internally, we just need a forum by which to, for one,
Distribute. Mm-hmm.
or one for stopping. Like you just
Mm-hmm.
to stop. I got this hour. I'm locked in here. I can think about this stuff. That's what business therapy is about. It's like, okay, when you go, especially if you're a sole owner, sole practitioner, sole whatever, you never feel like you have time to stop. Like it's always something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And many of us don't have that business person. We can't afford them. We can't afford that person. Strategic, whatever you want to call it, COO, CFO, whatever, someone to tell you or watch your back or watch to your side and say, hey, yeah, that's not going to turn out right. You might do it anyway, but I'm going to tell you this is the worst case scenario, something like that. So into biz therapy. And biz therapy is different than accounting. A lot of it, and I'll let you speak to this in a second. A lot of it deals with the individual and self accountability. Big part of that. Because when you run a business, no one's looking for you. You wake up Monday morning, no place to put in to punch a clock, or no one's looking for you. So you gotta have self-discipline. Especially work from home, you could just lay in the bed all day. I mean, you may not keep the home that long, but you could conceivably stay in bed all day. So I yield my time to the head coach of biz therapy with this Super Bowl weekend. So you could talk about the recap and your game plan going forward.
I mean, well, the game plan is the game plan. The game plan is to connect with the people and let the people know that biz therapy is here, right? For the reason of identifying problems, creating the structure around those problems and finding solutions, and then making that improvement last long term, right? And then creating a blueprint on how to rinse and repeat that when you run across these challenges at every single level you go up, because every step is another level, right? Every step doesn't take the same foot either. It's the left or the right in order, you know.
Mm.
But yeah. So I mean, we just kind of there's 5 concepts. I mean, let's keep it really simple. It's about being a foundational approach. Where do you get hung up as an individual in the business? And when we talk about biz therapy, when we talk about business period, we talk about accounting, we talk about numbers, we talk about balance sheets, we talk about financial statements. Everything is a foundation to the next level. You wouldn't live in a house that doesn't have a proper foundation, because if it rains, the roof, the walls, everything's coming down on you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. You wouldn't drive a car with 4 flat tires, right? It wouldn't make sense. Can't go anywhere, right? So having a foundation, creating a foundation that can be built upon is what we lend ourselves to be. It's to create. We're not here to drive the vehicle for you. We're here to support you in your initiatives and provide you the room to communicate, the room to figure out what your thought process is, the room to put your plans in place so you can understand how and why you should take action, right? So it's understanding those steps. And it's simple. It's identifying the problem, analyzing the root cause, right? Mm-hmm. Developing those steps for improvement, right? Then applying yourself or implementing yourself or your strategies, right? And then you adjust. You evaluate, you adjust as you go along, because nothing's going to stay the same per se, right? You want to be $1 million business, but you're a 1-person shop. You won't be $1 million business with a 1-person shop for the long haul. You might hit a lick, You know, you might get a quick opportunity, and you'll rent $1 million. There's people out there doing it, but is it sustainable? No, because that's pressure. And guess what? We know pressure bust pipes, right? So, you know, again, we always just repeating, rinsing, repeating, and trying to give new information as we come on these lives. And as we cycle information out there and deal with our clientele and our internal team, the nucleus of our ecosystem, because there's plenty of us within our ecosystem that does what they do. And but yeah, so Biz Therapy is here. I mean, check us out, biztherapycoaching.com. Schedule a consultation call. That's free. And let's peel the onion and see what we're dealing with, right? Hit us up at heywardcpa.com, schedule a consultation for any tax and advisory approaches, right? There's too many. This is the time right now. If no one's paying attention, this is a transition. This is not a transition of life to be fearful. This is a transition of life where we have to adjust our sails. We can't control the waves in the water, but we can control the direction that our boat is actually going in, right? So we're dealing with a lot of technology right now. And there's a lot of opportunities, but learning and support and building the right infrastructure and having the right community of people around us is paramount for these times. We all get weak in the knees. We all have frustrating days. We have great days. We have wins. We have, I don't like to look at losses as losses. I like to look at them as lessons, because when you get a loss, you paying tuition. It's the cost, right? Some people go to college and they pay a grandiose amount of tuition to learn something, right? And they got to pay that money back. But for us that's in the field and we in it, we're paying tuition by our heartburns and lack of sleep and being undernourished and not proper vitamins and minerals and dehydration, those things, which is crazy. It's crazy that it happens, but it happens, right? So we just got to think about ourselves. Go back to the book James was talking about earlier, The Mastery of Love, right? Which is self. So, let's approach everything in that particular capacity and just open up. You'll be surprised. I mean, even for me, when I learn something new or I put myself in a certain room or I meet certain people, I find out things about myself and my development, especially from the work that I'm putting in, and it's actually causing some sort of rhythm of improvement or success or helping somebody move the needle forward. It's like it's empowering, because you realize that what you thought about yourself is a lot of times is not really true or unknown, because you didn't know that you could have this capacity at this level, right? And that comes from, again, community. That comes from effort. That comes from communication. That comes from having a good infrastructure in place. So, there you have it.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's the biz therapy moment of the show. Stay tuned. In 2 weeks, we'll have something else. Start talking about the biz therapy method. But I mean, but to the point I was talking about branding, what Kory just shared with you is part of, the part of the exercise is taking that and then getting into a digestible piece that biz therapy. I know, it's business coaching, but we get these things that we don't know what is like right now. Everybody has so many definitions for so many things. It's so much, like there's not one definition, and I'm not saying that it should be, but there are a lot of things that we use these phrases and we don't evolve them, we don't research them. Spend money to make money, yeah, but that don't mean you just arbitrarily spend money. I mean, some people just spend the money. Oh, it's for the business. No, it's not. A trip to Tahiti is not for your business. You got you make, photo albums.
Some people disagree with you with that.
Yeah, I'll tell you who won't disagree with me.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So,
I know.
all right. So
Look,
there,
it's just develop your core values. That's your branding. That's the basis. So that's the again foundation. What is the core? What are your core values as an individual that you're going to birth to the business?
yeah.
Because
And
the business
values
is a birth.
evolve. Well, values
Correct.
evolve too.
Yeah,
I
but you
think
got to.
that,
I'm saying you got to have a starting place,
yeah, you got
and
to
I
start
think a lot of people, a lot of start outs. I like that start outs.
start out. That's pretty good right
Start
there.
out.
Start out.
Not start up. Start
I
outs.
think we might change our marketing. Are you a start out?
Are you starting out
Are you starting out?
as a right?
Yeah. I think
What is your foundational core values that
yeah,
will allow itself to evolve over time? See what I'm see how the
yeah,
consistency works.
yeah, but the start outs, that's something for us to really look at.
Yeah,
Because I think it's
definitely.
a better, startup. Here's a great example. Startup has a connotation that is
Yeah, it
some
does.
Silicon Valley tech
Right,
company
right,
that's
right,
looking
right,
for series of financial capital, and you like,
right,
yo, I'm opening my store over here.
right.
Here's a startup. You starting out. You just getting started. That's
Correct.
it. Yeah, that's gonna be in the I like that.
Yeah, we gonna unpack that some more.
Oh man, it's unpacked. It's raw. Are you a start out? Are you trying to
Where are you
figure out?
starting at? Where you starting from? Right,
Yeah, where am I going? Do you know where you're going to?
right,
Do you know? You're
right.
just starting out. You're
Right.
brand
I'm
new.
start out on this highway, end up on this back road to get to this highway.
But
Boom.
the funny thing is,
What's that?
you might be starting out 5 years from till you're still starting out. You starting out, man. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. Wow. So you had the parasites in the brain. What was it? Yeah, parasites in the brain and starting out. And you say, I'm on one today. If you say so. I mean,
See, mine's is never premeditated, bro. It just
you
come
know
to me
mine.
as a go most time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, clearly, because we don't have any pre-production meetings. So when the whole show is like that. It's not scripted. It ain't
True.
reality TV. It's real TV, but it's not reality TV. I
True.
mean,
True. True.
like I said, go back to the backdrop. I mean, no production assistants around here. Look, turn the camera on, turn on the mic. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
do
go.
it.
You know what I'm saying? So, in our last 10 minutes, I guess is about let's talk about the future, like next week.
Yeah.
Um,
What we got?
well, what we got one thing I would challenge people to do is say, look, commit to getting better. Just commit to getting better in one thing. It might be the way you fold your t-shirts. You get better at it. You just get better. If you're in business or if you're starting out, if you're a start out, don't go look for information. Everybody, I was going to talk about Chat GPT because and those things. So here's the thing: the information is good in using these chatbots. They're good. They're comprehensive. But to date, computers haven't exactly picked up the emotion thing yet. So if you're using AI prompts, make sure that you read them after you don't just fire it off after you do it. It's like that.
Yeah. With the problem with that too, I'm glad you said that too. The problem that you could run into is you put in a basic prompt and it spits something out, and if you're not a reader, if you don't read and you don't take the time to write, I'm not talking about just because there's people that read and write every day because that's
Yeah,
part of their job, but I'm talking about intently to reading and to learn and to writing and understanding the structures of things. Anything it spits out is going to sound good to you, and then you give it to somebody else, and it's not going to be the language that you speak or
yeah,
that they know you to speak, right?
exactly.
And then that's when it's rigged.
Yeah,
That-
but it goes to your brand. Back
yeah,
to
and
brand.
back
If
to branding, correct?
I know how you talk. So if you
Right.
sent me something Well, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what it is AI. Like I'm like, yeah, this is AI. So
Correct.
We've come full circle to branding. Your brand is how you write. Your brand is
Correct.
how you speak. Your brand is how you look. The brand is how you act. So in this AI situation, we live in a world of everything's panic, and look, the robot overlords might take over, and we all be in there like the Matrix. If it happens, it happens. What can you do, right? I'm not gonna worry about that today. Right now, you use these tools, but I think that's a good way. What you're saying is a good way to get better, because the AI they're going to give you tons of information.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just
But how do you dissect it and get
massage
it to
that
be
thing. Yeah.
and get it to be
Yeah.
the sounding like you want to? I
Right.
know usually I use I'm use multiple tools,
Right.
because I also use Grammarly too, which is another, and it's been around, so it's been building up my writing.
Mhm.
It knows the words I use because I've used it for years, so it knows like how to write stuff.
Intuitive. It's
Yeah,
intuitive.
yeah, it's intuitive. So so using that, but I'm going to tell you something really interesting. I'm trying to create a habit. Yeah, so I'm building a habit as we speak, and that habit is writing. Yeah, see, no rehab necessary. But
Hold on, let me hit hold on, let me
can
hit you.
we get the applause, please? Yes. Thank you. So what we're doing is I'm committing myself this year to write more. But write, not it's different, write for my voice of what I'm saying, because I have a lot of opinions, as you can see, that I want to get out. Let's see what happens. Um, I had to move to Greenland. Hopefully they don't.
You're gonna get that AU Thor at the end of your joint.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Thor. Thor.
That's an AU Thor. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. So, I've been working on that. And ironically, through the exercise of GPT, Grammarly, or something like that, I've written about 3 pieces without the AI. Like I just wrote them. Like I was able to just sit down and write. Now, I didn't write a Tale of Two Cities or anything like that. But what I wrote, I was able to get it out. And I know it's a byproduct of using the AI and your Grammarlies and stuff, and you start developing, like, you can just get in it. Now, I'm still going to use it to go in and check it out, see for certain things. If I cite anything, that's a great place to use AI for. If I do anything like that, I'll definitely use that. But it's I'm just on my habit, I'm writing. So just look for the blog post to be there on the Heyward CPA blog, Financial Flip Side Substack, which I'm moving it over there to Substack.
Biz Therapy blog. We got some new blogs coming out.
Oh yeah, you got all the wild blogs though.
Yeah, I do be.
Because
I've been writing for a long. What's crazy is now all of the writing that I've been doing. Look at that. We got G Heyward on deck. Your branding is your why. Correct. So all the writing I've done out of all the years, I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. It's almost like, really? But I understand the writing that I've done, that it's for me, right? And for my thoughts and ideas. And there's a book somewhere in there, I guess.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
But it writing is therapeutic. That's where I was going with this story.
If you get there. I mean, it's interesting to me because when I was, in grade school and all like that, I must have been writing business briefs when I was in elementary school, because I always wrote to the point. And it's hilarious now. And for the longest time, like when I went to college, and took the university writing course, I didn't do too good. So I've had this stigma on my head that I can't write. Like I'm like almost 30 years.
I think most of us go through that, right?
Yeah, but
because we don't come from. I mean, I'm talking old school wise, right? But that stigma of writing is like, wait a minute, you scared of your own voice, and that's why writing is very helpful to you as an individual. I had
yeah.
to learn that, and be comfortable with it too.
Oh, it's totally helpful.
Because
And
you go from somebody forcing you to do it, or you putting in a
so,
situation you got to do it, to you wanting to do it, and now you like, okay, I enjoy doing it, and now you get to. That's where
you get
your
better.
true learning coming at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get better. Yeah, so
absolutely.
it's for me, so that when I sit back and think, it's like funny that now 200, 240 characters, 300 characters, all this, we communicating like that. I'm in the fifth grade, sixth grade. I'm writing my little thing. I get 80 something because we like, you not because you didn't flesh out the argument and all that academic writing. So I'm in the business writing probably since I was a kid, because I was like, if it's this, here's the answer. Da, 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 da. Done. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you're done. And now, ironically, that's the way we communicate now. So that means it's our time, baby. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It is our time. So, and to the pastor's point there, with
What
branding,
pastor?
Pastor
What
Heyward.
Oh, okay.
That's Pastor Heyward.
Oh, okay. Pastor. Sorry, Pastor Heyward.
I mean, I ain't trying to blow him up, but just saying. Say we know. But what we're saying is this: that he's putting in great content. Yeah. The thing
He's dropping bass right now.
he's
You
dropping
go ahead and
bass right
talk.
now. Yeah.
I'm gonna remix his stuff.
I see. Yeah, nah, you're on top of that. But what is your why? So your why, I think you find it when you start creating content, whether it be written or verbal. Then you start aligning yourself with your why, because, and quite frankly, you start believing it. You start saying, yeah, I really believe this. So it's times that we go off this stream because it's unscripted. I'm speaking. What I'm speaking about is I believe it because there's no teleprompter here.
Living it.
Yeah. So, and when you go to branding, this is very important. I guess that was the topic of the day. Your brand and your personal brand, and learning how to excel. How to put your position. You cut out your place on the floor, and then you have a place to stand on your mark. Some people like to say stand on business. Whatever it takes for you to say that, but for you to figure out your role and where you are.
Son, you gotta be 10 toes down, son.
Boy, what if you only got 8? Does that count? Like Dion only got 8. Coach Prime only got 8 toes. So if you got 8 toes, does that make you less sturdy? Just saying. I think Coach Prime, he disagrees with, but he only got 8. I mean, what you gonna do? 10 toes now. I mean, love these catchphrases. So I love it. I love it, but it's at some point you got to go do the work. I mean, yeah, okay, that's
true.
Standing on business. What the hell?
True.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
I mean, stand. I guess it does. It means stand your ground, like but you can't use it loosely. You gotta show it and not really say it. That's really what it should be. That's what it should mean, I should say, right? So,
yeah, it doesn't compute for me. I think it's funny to me. I'm like, you can stand it in the
we are a community of slanguistics, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we got catchphrases. It's nothing wrong with that. But
and those things and those slanguistics turns into slangspirations. You know what I mean? I'm making up a word right now.
Yeah. It might be going down out here. And so, and I mean, but Anyway, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that on another episode, another time. But this has been show number 80. Wow.
Nice.
Pretty good.
8 on the 8th of February.
Yeah. That's on the 8th of February, show number 80. And we're in the building. So this has been wonderful. But yeah, we're making a lot of solo clips. We try to do we're doing a lot of reels now. That's what's going on. But yeah, I want to thank everybody that watches. On YouTube, subscribe, like the video, subscribe. We're gonna do better at putting more chopping the content down and have it out there so you could go back and listen to some of the things we're saying, because quite frankly, I mean, we share information here. I mean, that's what we're here for, to share information. So you never know what you might need. So yeah. Well, with that, you know what time it is. Peace. Have a good weekend.